Welcome to Akoma Conversations, presented on Akoma News Network, with your hostess, Dr. Bertha Serwa IE, a medical doctor, specialist, author, and speaker.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Dr. Bertha IE. I'm the founder and curator of Akoma Morning Reflections. And out of that, lately we've started Akoma Podcasts, and the whole idea is to inspire people, encourage them. Life can get weary. Some people just kind of give up. And the idea is that we'll focus on scripture, find an individual whose life reflects that scripture, and then we have a conversation with them to encourage people. And today I have the singular honor and pleasure of having as my guest, Ambassador Victor Smith, a longtime diplomat and Ghana's newest ambassador to the United States. This man says the best verse, or the verse he likes the most, is love your neighbor as yourself. And I'm sure as you watch this podcast, it will come out in various ways. The goal of the podcast for today is to introduce him to the American people, let him tell us his ideas and vision for his tenure as ambassador, and then let us know who is Victor Smith. And so help me welcome Ambassador Victor Smith.
Hi,
Thank you so much for joining me.
Nice being with you.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to visit with you.
Thank you so much.
So we've known each other for almost 30 years, on and off.
That's true.
Yes. So flashback October 98, I was this young medical doctor who walked boldly into your offices and said, I need to travel to Brazil. I'm leaving in 2 days. I don't know how to get there. And you were so amazing. I've never asked you this, but what were you thinking when I was talking to you at that time, saying I needed help?
Well, thank you, but you were my neighbor on that occasion, so I am loving my neighbor than as myself.
You see? So
do what you want somebody to do, to you in life. So I felt the way you felt. You needed help. And I was put in that position to be able to help.
And I talked to Doha, your sister-in-law, and she said something amazing about you. When I told her the story, she said, "Oh, that's so Victor. Dama naughty. That's what he does."
True.
Yes,
that's so true about me caring for my neighbor.
Yes. Anyway, so that I thought was a powerful testimony coming from your cousin's wife. Mm-hmm. So for the Ghanaian in the United States who may be meeting you for the first time, who is Victor Smith beyond the title of ambassador?
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure a lot of people think he's a politician who's been around with Jerry Rawlings, the days of President Rawlings, and of course, since then, the NDC, and now the ambassador in Washington. That's how some people know me, but I'm somebody who wants to see life get better for all of us. God has been good to me, and I think others need to be helped to also make life, to live in dignity for themselves and their families. And wherever I can open doors to help somebody to also make progress, I will, I definitely make that effort to help the person. So if somebody wants to know what is he, this is he. As simple as that. If I can help you, I'll tell you. If I can help you, I'll tell you to look elsewhere. Okay. But I make the effort to help whoever approaches me, if I can. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So many people may not know this, but your cousin, or your General Joseph Smith, also held the same position, and he had a wonderful tenure here. Did he share did you know at some point that you'll be taking the same position that?
No, of course not. I was High Commissioner in the UK when he was ambassador in the US. We didn't talk much, except that, once in a while we'll just call and talk family matters. He was like a Bushiapenye in my family, okay? So we're that close. But if he did well here, I'm happy that at least the name Smith has not gone down in any way. Yeah. Okay. I hit the ground here running, looking for possibilities of people putting money in Ghana to help our country progress. Because I didn't think, and that is one thing that sometimes gets controversial. People think people want to travel and you are trying to discourage them from traveling. Why do people travel? I mean, the young people leaving Ghana, and not because they hate our country. People love our country. Foreigners love our country. African Americans, I've found that out. They love our country. It's all about, survival or the economic situation that you find yourself in. And so people migrate to in search of greener pasture. That's exactly what makes people go out. But if Ghana was good, people will not leave our country. People will rather be coming into our country from elsewhere because we have good weather, we have the natural resources that we can use to make us a happy country, a happy people. Okay, so it a lot behoves on leadership of our country to make that happen for the people of Ghana, to make it a nicer place to live. And for me, I want to be part of that team that makes that effort to make people happy and for Ghanaians to even come back from the diaspora to live in and enjoy our country, Ghana. That is my vision. And when I came into the United States, I said to myself, this is something I'm going to do. This is an outreach. Go out there, kill 3 birds with 1 stone. What I decided to do, like any movement I made, was either going for investors, and asking them to partner with our diasporans who are professionals or entrepreneurs to come and set up or take advantage of opportunities that we present as a country to create job opportunities and other opportunities for other Ghanaians other than the young ones plus others, so that people can live in our country. The second thing was to also engage city authorities wherever I went to, and let them understand what I'm doing in this country, in this position as ambassador. The third one was to engage the Ghanaian community. Okay. So these are the 3 areas that in any movement of mine that I make to try and whip up a lot of interest and excitement about our country.
So it's very strategic that you're going for the city authorities, because then if you connect with them, they will start looking at the Ghanaians that live in the community with a different light. And whatever they want to get done, they'll say, oh, we know you're ambassador. So it looks like you're really playing your role as the representative of Ghana to the United States. So what was it about your childhood? Like, people want to connect with you. Are there some things in your childhood that you felt this was so Ghanaian? Where did you grow up, for example?
Well, I grew up mostly in Accra, if I may put it that way, with my parents. But secondary school, I was in St. Augustine's, Cape Coast.
Oh.
Yeah, ABSU, as we call ourselves, the ABSU.
Which year?
Left Form 5 in 1973.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Some of them were even born. Were you born? No.
I was 2 years old.
Well, and of course went on to the university. Form 5 or 73. Okay, 75 was 6th form, and then entered University Tech to do medicine, your profession. But I quit after 3 years.
Oh, you almost...
After 3 years.
What made you quit?
We're doing human biology, but see, they had teaching problems.
Oh.
UST was a new medical school set up. It started with human biology. And that was the second intake.
Okay, yeah, because the school started in 75.
There's something, yeah. I was in the second intake, 76, yeah. And to be honest with you, as much as I wanted to do medicine, my assumption was I was going to Kolebu. And for whatever reason, I didn't get into Kolebu. They wanted me to do dentistry, and I wasn't ready for dentistry. And so my father insisted I should go to Tech.
So it wasn't your... So you kind of went dragging your feet anyway.
It is true. So when things were not as exciting as I thought it should be, I quit. And then went on a scholarship to change direction, international economics in transport and maritime studies, something. Yeah. And then, of course, after that, came back for a stint in Ghana, and then went out again to do my master's in business administration, and then eventually came back as a consultant at State Enterprises Commission. And then the rest is history. I was dragged into politics by Mrs. Rollins. That's how I got into politics.
I see. Interesting. So do you ever look back and regret, should I have quit? Should I have done dentistry? Do you ever wish you were in the medical field? No. Now that
It doesn't give me too much of a wide scope to operate.
it's too narrow.
This one was, I think it was the best route.
Best.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I went that route. I could do so many things. Of course, I did economics, business, and all that. Yeah, I was free in engaging.
In your thoughts
exactly. I didn't do political science, but I ended up doing a lot of politicking.
Right.
I can write theses on the political life in Ghana. I could do that. But as I went on, I improved. I didn't go to do any other serious courses, but I was doing a lot of reading and engaging in politics. And of course, it comes back to my favorite part of the Bible that, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Okay. So my position was, how can we make people live better lives than we are living in Ghana at the moment? That it has always been a worry that, is it that leadership does not know how to do it? Or people are so selfish, they just seek personal interest and forget about the rest of us?
Right.
Those are the questions I kept asking myself. And I thought, no, we could do better than that.
But I think gradually change will come. Because just like you, when I also go to Ghana, I look at people in Trotro, people carrying like 300 Ghana city capital things, and I'm thinking, how can we change their lives?
We need to change it.
Right.
We need to help. That's what I'm saying, that we shouldn't be selfish. You should love your neighbor as yourself. If you just go in there to grab and go, and everybody's doing the same thing, where are we going to end up?
Then it's actually not even politics, just greed, because politics is like brokerage of power. You've been given the power to serve the people. So if you're not serving them...
Exactly. Then, if you're not serving them, you're seeking your own interest. You're selfish, bottom line. Right. So for me, anybody who is willing to help make life better I've been around the country, be honest with you. When I was with Mrs. Rawlings, we toured every nook and cranny of this country, our country, Ghana. We saw people's lives. People live in abject poverty. I've seen it. Somebody eating kinky and pepper only. There's no money to buy fish. That's the meal of the day. These are not good things. And I thought, how can we improve this person's life? How can we make life better for this person? How can we make him or her also, even though they get a good job, they can fend for themselves without government giving handouts. And it is for the government or the leadership to create that enabling environment for those things to happen for people. And so if you see me here, I accepted to come as an ambassador again. This is the third time. Apparently this is the first time it's happened in the history of Ghana's foreign affairs. Somebody have ambassador 3 times.
Oh, wow. You set a record.
Yeah, I
did Czechoslovakia.
I did Czech Republic. It used to be Czechoslovakia. I did Czech Republic. I was not very happy when I was being sent out by Professor Mills, but eventually I had to accept it and I went. Then I thought, oh, this time round, when President Mahama came the first time, I was going to remain in Ghana and take on some ministry or something job. And he said he wants me to go to the UK. So I ended up in the UK. This time round, I knew I was done. I'm not going ambassador again. He calls me. He said, I'm going to send him to America. What could I do? This is the president offering me something. So I accepted it. No regrets. But I think what I've done so far in exciting people about Ghana is the image of our country that pushed me to do what I'm doing currently. It's not a matter of going around for people to know who I am, but I'm trying to tell them that we can do better for ourselves, developing our country so we can all come. 12 months of the year, even though there are rains now, that floods and everything, if we did things properly and invested good money to do, let's say, drainage systems and everything, we probably won't have the flooding that we're having.
Right. So
development has to be sustained, and the development should be done within that enabling environment that I'm talking about. To be honest to ourselves, to be truthful, to do what would make life better for us, and not for just a few people.
Okay. So viewers, as you can tell, the ambassador is extremely and highly educated. Masters, tech, St. Augustine. So the APSU people out there, shout out to you. Make sure you watch this and see what your alumni is up to. So are there things in your childhood that influenced who you are now greatly, like a few things? And what signals did Dr. Mrs. Nana Kwedo Ajima Rollins see in you that while you were doing all, what made her pull you close to her? And is it the same thing that influenced the President Muhammad to appoint you twice as an ambassador? Like, you must be doing something that sends leadership signals, or like, look, this person is trustworthy. We want him on our team.
Loyalty is one of my main fortes. I am so loyal. If I decide to do things with you, I'm very loyal on that score.
Oh.
Because for a good reason. I mean, I need to share in that vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With Mrs. Rawlings, I was a student in Cardiff, Wales. That's where I studied my first degree.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went out I came back to Ghana and then went out again to do my master's. At that time, 1981 had happened.
81.
There was a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept offering pieces of advice through messages to Mrs. Rawlings.
Directly to her?
Yeah,
like
somehow send a message to her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. Did we have cell phones at the time?
81.
I was sending some messages. I don't know whether it was fax messages or something.
Okay, maybe faxes.
But I was just offering pieces of advice as to how to run this country without us going down as a people.
Okay.
These were pieces of advice I just freely.
Free.
I didn't know her before.
Me baby. I
hadn't spoken to her. I knew there was a Mrs. Rawlings. President Rawlings I had seen once in the Air Force Station many years ago. So I kept offering pieces of advice how they should proceed without the country crashing. So when I was done with my studies and everything, and I came down, I got into State Enterprises Commission as a consultant. We're just looking at state-owned enterprises and, doing a performance review and all that, and making recommendations of how we can, put more fire into the state-owned enterprises. And I informed her that I was in town, and she used to ask, if I could do a speech for her. She liked what I used to write to her. Then I would help her draft a speech for her programs and things. So one day she called me and then she said she was traveling and that the president wanted to see me. That was Jerry Rawlings then.
Mm-hmm.
So one evening I was called and I was taken to the castle to see the president. We sat down, we talked at length. And should I say the rest is history?
No, the rest is, we don't know. Actually, we want to hear.
Because I started work, everybody knows me and Mrs. Rawlings and Jerry Rawlings.
No,
anyway,
like, did they offer you something like, I'm going to think about it, I'll be right back, or you were like, you know what, this is the...
No, she had come into the US at that time to do a short course at St. John.
Johns Hopkins.
Johns
I
Hopkins.
She did a master's or...
To do
I was reading her book.
Johns Hopkins University. Yeah.
Right.
And I was in Accra. I was working, like I told you. I'd seen the president and I was working. And then one day she calls, I think she said she spoke to the president about how tedious the work was, what she was doing.
With the 31st.
The combination.
Itself. Okay, yeah, it must be tough.
Because she was making decisions while she was studying here. She was making decisions, everything was being referred to her. And she was probably telling the president how stressed she was last night. I had to deal with this issue. And that she needs somebody to assist her. And the president said, who? And then she said, let me think about it. So that's what she was telling me. That's her narration. The next day she said to the president, it's me.
I know who it is.
Yeah. So chief of staff, the chief of staff wants to see you at the castle. What have I done? So I went and said, well, the president said I should move you and put you in the office of the First Lady and set up the office of the First Lady. So that's how I set up the First Lady's office for her.
So Akoma was yesterday we're talking about the letter A, anointed and appointed. So the fact that she thought about you means that somehow the Holy Spirit had spoken to her. She got this inclination that you were the man for the job.
No, she needed to sleep and think about it, and then she came up with me. But,
wow.
that's how I started with the Rawlinses, if I may put it that way. So I started working with her from an office within her house. You know, there was an office in the compound, and also trying to set up the bigger office. So I was with her, and I became like a personal aide where 31st December Women's Movement, wherever they moved to, I was always with her. I mean, organizing the public appearance and speeches and what have you. So it went on for so many years. So when President Rawlings was leaving office, I said to her, okay, we're done with the work. So I was going to go into this sort of thing this gentleman is doing. I went to the US. I came to the US and bought equipment for filmmaking and other documentaries and what have you. Those were the ideas. So whilst I was in the US buying those things, I had a call from Mrs. Rawlings and said, I want you to work for my husband coming out of office. So my dream was gone. Anyway, I said, yes, okay. So I came back, and then the office I was setting up now has become the former president's office. So then I was his first aide. So this is how, you know, I was like moving into these places, but my vision was the same. People have got to live better lives than, you know, it's happening in some villages. And I mean, this is not political talk. And when people say, this is political talk, but what about the poor person there? Why must he come into this world and go through the challenges that they go through? Leaders have to create opportunities for them to also grow.
So we'll delve into that. But talking about equipment, you know, if it was these days, you could still have gotten it. You get a bunch of 5 young people to run it for you, and they'll do a fabulous. It will go on autopilot. They'll do everything, editing. So if you have it,
I just, those are outmoded. They're old equipment by now. Yeah, I just sort of you don't know where they are.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so you've talked about investments and working for State Enterprises Commission. So it means you have a very good grasp with your MBA of enterprises. And now you're looking for investment. So which areas in Ghana, which industries do you feel need investment the most? And then when you finish, my next question is going to be, how do we let the success of these investments trickle down to that person sitting in an aboboya looking sad or a trotro, just wondering how things are going? But let's talk about the investment. Which areas? Like as you talk to the investors, since it's your main...
I agree with you, Bertha. But what those opportunities or the investment opportunities that are available are best known by Ghana Investment Promotion Center. Okay. Of course, when I do those investment programs, I bring them through Zoom
with them.
So they do a presentation to the audience or the forum or the round table. Which sectors?
At the Ghana Investment Promotion, is it
GIPC.
Okay.
I get them to come on Zoom if they're not able to come physically.
Okay.
So I will do the overview of the whole thing. I present Ghana to them. And then I get them to engage, you know, to listen to the presentation on big screens in the same room. The next one, I'm going to invite you to come there. And they do a complete presentation, slides and everything, and the numbers and the incentives that government is giving, all those things that we are doing to excite an investor. And my position is always pushing for the partnership with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. I don't want to abandon them. Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, if they're encouraged properly, if they partner with some of these deep pockets in America, they would do well for Ghana. They can take advantage of the opportunities that we are presenting to them in minerals, mining, agri business, innovation, energy, oil fields, you know, all those, there are opportunities there, but Ghana Investment Promotion Center has the figures. So they will provide the people with the figures.
And show them.
Yeah, and show them and give them the incentives for investing. And then I turn around to the deep pockets and investors, be it our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, that the incentives being given to you, it's something that you must take advantage of. Now I tell the deep pockets too that the diasporan has a better grasp and understanding of the culture of the territory where you're going, i.e. Ghana. Our brothers, like yourselves, you know the culture of the people. At least you know it better than the deep pocket man coming.
Yes.
And it is some sort of assurance to them that they're not going to waste their investment, because here is somebody who has been trained in America, has worked here, understands the culture of doing that level of business in a developed country like the US.
Right.
So it's a less risk than coming blind into Ghana and engaging somebody you don't know from anywhere, or you don't know his background, training, and other things. So we need that type of person to partner. And I encourage them that it is a safer bet.
So essentially, when you talk to investors, you also introduce them to diaspora Ghanaians. So somebody will literally hold their hands.
Exactly.
And take
Because I invite Ghanaians as well to the same forum. And we engage in the discussion and the interest in the areas, they make it clear that maybe they're interested in this area, which is being, shown to them by investment center, or they know about it, but they wanted some more information and assurances and what have you. And for me, I say to them at the end of the day, thanking them, I give them my business cards, my phone numbers, my WhatsApp messages, my emails. Get in touch with me if you hit a brick wall anywhere in Ghana. I will open that door for you to go through. And the assurance is so convincing for them. And I've done a few already.
Wow.
I mean, I am part of this current administration in Ghana in the sense that I know everybody and everybody knows me.
Yeah, so, of course, you've been around.
Yeah, so making a phone call to call somebody to come and to help do the business is one thing, and they all know that apart from them, the boss himself is a very good friend of mine, and we're in this thing together. I've been with him throughout, and anything that will take him down, I will not stand for. So I will go to him then. If anybody, a minister or anybody is trying to be difficult, the president has to come in, because I always believe that I'm doing it selflessly.
Wow.
Okay, so we need to help. We can't just go talk to investors and come and disappoint them at home.
Back home. Wow. Yeah. That's a lot of commitment. So, one thing I've noticed living in this country, some of the wealthiest people are the most silent. You don't hear of them. So it might be hard to even find those investors. So I want you to use this opportunity to talk to someone who is listening to us, who has a lot of money to invest, really knowing that Africa is I don't know if you've heard, but Jeffrey Sachs believes that by 2050, Africa will be the hottest economic place on this earth. So it's a good place to invest. So if you can just talk to someone who has money and doesn't know where to send it. I mean, the same thing you pitch to the investors when you see them in person. If you can tell someone, and if you feel at liberty telling them how to reach you or the Ghana investment promotion.
But of course, I'll tell you a story. When I went to Los Angeles, I arrived there one evening, and the first meeting I had right from the airport was with Stevie Wonder.
Oh, wow.
I was taken to Stevie Wonder in his studio.
Oh, that's why you have that picture with him.
Yeah. And he expressed a lot of interest in investing in Ghana, setting up a studio for the young people, and also building his retirement home in Ghana. And I thought, I was so excited. I mean, Stevie Wonder, we've known from childhood.
Yeah.
Yes, you're singing the song to say I love you. Okay. Right. So that was this man, face to face with Stevie Wonder.
You're looking at a legend.
Yeah. Now, for me, this is one individual. He may not be the billionaire that we think about, but it's exciting that he has such love for our country. He is indeed a citizen of Ghana now.
Right.
He has been given a Ghanaian passport. So he's a citizen of Ghana. And then at the same meeting, I was told that Jamie Foxx, he's an actor, was also interested in becoming a Ghanaian citizen. Now, if Ghanaians are listening to me today, they should be seeing by now that there's a lot of excitement about your country.
Mm-hmm.
So we all need to come together to make it work.
Work.
We shouldn't spoil it.
No.
And whether you are a politician, you're the leader, you're not the leader, you're an ordinary person, believe that your country is becoming the destination of choice
Yes.
for a lot of investors
Right.
and tourists and what have you. Very soon, it will be exciting, it will be exciting time for Ghana. What I can say to serious businesses, I mean, I don't know whether I mentioned it earlier on, one of my trips recently to Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. I noticed you've been to Seattle, Philadelphia, Atlanta.
I had good meetings in Seattle with 3 big organizations: Boeing,
Oh.
Microsoft,
Mm.
Amazon.
Wow.
We had at different levels, but I've toured the Boeing factory. And there's excitement about them helping Ghana fly the flag again as Ghana Airways.
Oh, wow.
And this was very exciting.
So you
We're
are
still talking.
You're busy. You're actually
I am determined to really help. Microsoft is ready for us.
Just say the word.
Amazon, I'm going to have some meetings again with them soon to take it forward. You know, I'm saying to them, they have seen the light. There's something that we have in Africa, and Ghana being the gateway into the African continental free trade area, AFTA, it's a gateway to about 1.4 billion people, Africa continent.
Yeah.
Natural resources are there. They're not unexploited.
Right.
But we cannot continue to let people, as they were doing in the past, taking out these resources free of charge, if I may put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't know how to get it out of the ground. We didn't know the value of what we were losing. But now we are waking up.
Right.
I can tell you that with the gold board that we set up,
mm-hmm.
others are trying to do the same in Africa now.
Oh,
they want to learn from
Ghana
us.
Has once again we're the flag,
but of course, that's the black star. We decided that no, you're not taking the gold anymore. You sell it to Ghana government, and we make the profit. You sell it, take whatever your cost and your profit, but we will make the bigger money. So in 2025 alone, we didn't have to borrow money from anybody.
Wow.
For all the development and paying back debts, we raised about $20 billion.
As a government?
As a government.
Wow.
From the gold board.
Wow.
So if a government is focused and determined to help all and sundry, all its people to bring progress to their lives, it can be done.
Well, that's some solid work you've done. I mean, already, like you really hit, and you've been in office for what?
9 months.
9 months, and already you're making all these inroads. That's impressive. And like the meeting with Stevie Wonder, if he does start a project, sometimes it's not so much the magnitude of what he's doing, it's the signal it sends, because he's such an icon. Mm-hmm. A lot of musicians will hear about it. Exactly. Ghanaians will hear about it. They'll remember his songs and go, oh, if Steve Wonder is here, there must be something really, really good.
That is true.
And you know, just in the last week, I think yesterday was Africa Day, right?
Yes.
May 25th. Yeah. And I was listening to something Jeffrey Sachs had said, that China was very, very poor. India was poor a few years ago. And they went through this systematic changes, innovation, investment in people. And according to him, his economic theory, okay, currently in the 1950s, Africa made up only 9% of the world's population. Currently, we're 19% of the world's population. In 2050, the projection is that we'll make 35%. So one out of 3 persons living in the world will be African. And the bottom line is, Africa is going to be a big economic hot seat. So it's not like if we should plan, it's just like you've been told it's going to rain. It's not that it may rain, it is going to rain. Where are your umbrellas? So we should prepare. Healthcare, education, all the things you're doing, technology, we have to get up our loins and really work towards that.
True.
And you know, I'm a physician, so I'll ask you about healthcare. Sometimes people come into the country and say, you know, or at least diasporans living here, we want to go back home, but if there's an emergency, what are we going to do? You know, is the system going to be responsive? And I know you've heard about recently a young man who died, I think 3 months ago, may or may not have heard. I think he got into an accident and he sort of bled to death because he went to 3 hospitals. Do you know any sort of any investments that are being made by people here in the healthcare sector, or have any of your investors expressed an interest in the healthcare sector?
Well, immediately, no. I know when I was in LA, I raised that issue about the need for us to invest in the health sector so we don't always have to medevac, move patients abroad for things that can be done. And for one reason or another, we are unable to do. We do have the University of Ghana Medical Center, which was constructed a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
They may be lacking in some other technology, modern technology, or they may not have the qualified experts
Mm-hmm.
to man certain equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But invariably, I know that in serious emergencies, people have been moved out. I think that if one continues to excite people about the opportunities that exist and we trumpet it loud enough, we might get people to get specialist hospitals again and to bring the appropriate equipment that can handle any and everything, any emergency, you know, to keep people alive. That's all that matters to us.
Okay.
You know.
So from a healthcare perspective, I always think doctors should inform politicians what we need. Yes, we need hospitals. Actually, I think the previous administration had this thing called Agenda 111 or so, building many hospitals. And as healthcare providers, we kind of scoffed a little because we said, okay, when you build all these hospitals, where are the doctors going to man them? And so equipment and hospitals are important, but from our perspective, we feel we need better emergency management. Like if somebody's in trouble, you get a heart attack at home.
But I wasn't expecting the machines to work on their own. I expected experts to operate the machines and understand why they have to use them.
Right.
So, I mean, people like you are in the diaspora. I don't know why you should be in the diaspora. You should be in the University of Ghana Medical Center.
I'm going home.
And
I am.
I'm looking for them.
I am going.
I've set up an app, which is going to be put out soon, for people to access it and to put their details there and their areas of specialization or professionalism and in areas of interest by way of investment and whatever. So that when I'm approached by an investor, as I go around, I should be able to go on that site and find appropriate partner for the investor to take with them.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Do you remember the name of the app? Because
it's yet. I haven't put it out yet.
Okay.
No, it's being done for me by the experts, you know. But it will be done very soon, and we'll put it on our website, and we'll try and market it, you know, widely enough for people to register.
So that's for diaspora engagements.
Yes. So I mean, some of them don't know, so somebody has to tell them what are the opportunities at home. Some of them just think that we're not going back home. They came here for various reasons. People came to school. People came here to abandon the country. They don't hate Ghana, but they think there's nothing to us. Nothing is happening for us. In the past, things are improving, but we got to market it and open up the country for investments to come in that can sustain the people, you know, in terms of livelihood. You'll be paid well, so you don't need to get out of the country.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. So when the app is ready, if you let us know, we'll somehow find a way of adding it to this video. But if I recollect, I've interacted with maybe 2 or 3 past ambassadors. They set up a diaspora office, somebody's collecting data, they collect it and it kind of fizzles out. So if you can tell your app developers that we've been through this route, because I don't want the people to say, oh, yeah, tiabre, it's like another data collection. If there's a way we can make it a sustainable data collection, then people know that, well, once we enter, there was even one that they did for the medical corps. They said they wanted all doctors to enter their information, and then we don't remember.
But, you know, in my case, my outreach, I've got a team of some consultants following up. The follow-up is very important to me. I go and do all the preaching, show them what is available in Ghana, you know, all the incentives and whatever government is doing. But as I leave the forum, there's another group which is doing the follow-ups. So they write to those people who attended and the interest they have shown and how best we can help them go forward. If there's anything else we can do, if they have to come back to me, they'll come. We open doors in Accra. We engage ministers. You know, it must be sustained for them to make the decision in our favor.
Right.
Because if you don't and you forget about them, money will go elsewhere. Investment will probably say, look, forget about this country. Nobody's even showing interest. We appreciate them by writing to all of them, those who attended, those who called in, who have your details, write to you, and then somebody engages you. So you can make a good decision. Because if you don't engage them and somebody comes with a better offer, they might go elsewhere. You know?
Okay, so if you're an investor listening to us, we've been interviewing Ambassador Victor Smith. He said Ghana is ready for business. He has a team that's ready to engage you. So please bring your money to Ghana, and I think you won't regret doing that. And on that note, I just want to also add that when you talk to your investors, the healthcare industry in Ghana needs a lot of help. And it's not just equipment. We need specifically emergency management system. We need ambulances connected to a system like a tracking system to connect all the hospitals in Ghana. Because our major issue has been what they call no bed syndrome. It's not that beds don't exist. The hospitals have no way of reporting to some command center that we have a bed, we don't have it. So in the ideal world, we need a tracking system connected to every hospital that's also connected to subspecialists. So if an ambulance picks a patient, they should be able to tell that command center that, okay, I've picked this person with chest pain. Where should I send them? And they'll say, okay, take them to Kolebu or 37. But the idea that the ambulance is going to go to Kolebu and we'll go, okay, we don't have a bed, then to 37, like that's waste of time. And so we need that electronic module set up in place, connected to subspecialists. So even if the patient there's no bed, they should be able to connect to a neurologist or a cardiologist who will say, okay, the patient is 37 years old. Okay, give them nitroglycerin and let them wait because we've seen the EKG. So that is what we need majorly for our health. If we did that, we would have solved a lot of our problems. And then after the specialists, we are all over the world. And we can even connect to that system to make it happen.
We have some. And so they should be, you know, doctors like yourself. The Deputy Minister for Health right now.
Yes.
You know
She
her,
trained
Dr.
her. I haven't met her. I've spoken to her on the phone, but I haven't met her in person.
Yeah. I think, was she at Johns Hopkins?
She has a remarkable history. I think she went to Archbishop Porter's. She had no science in her horizon. Comes to US after 2 years of studying something. She decides, you know, America, you can study anything. She said, let me try this science. And then she's just acing it. And so she gets all these scholarships. I've listened to, I was enthused with her at some point. So I listened to all the interviews. She gets these scholarships.
Well, we do have,
and next thing I know, she's a
lot
surgeon.
Of well-trained doctors and everything.
Right.
The ideas you're offering, I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
So how come they are not offering those things to government? You know, Ministry of Health needs to engage the right people, the medical profession. What is it that we can do as a government to make your work better than it is now?
Right. So
you just offered a very brilliant thing.
Yeah.
Why should somebody not
and
tell
I've
them?
talked to, I didn't call the deputy, I have her number. I was going to, but I decided to I spoke with Titus Bayo, the MP for Lambo. Anyway, he said they're working on a system, but I think my concern has been, I've heard this before. We're working on a tracking system. I think what we need in Ghana is determination. Like, whatever it takes, let's make it happen. Like, things shouldn't take
a bit of
2
selflessness.
months. Yes, selflessness.
Because they'll be looking at, you know, people say, what is in it for me?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that one.
So that's one we want to push that aside, because if some of us get involved, it won't be what's in it for me. But it's that grit and determination, which we learn in America. Like, if there's a problem in America, like, we've tolerated power cuts for so long. Like, I go to Ghana, my car is jostling up and down. I'm going, you know what? This will not happen in America. You know why? If you're on the job and there's a pothole, and they report it, and within 24 hours you haven't fixed it, like, you will just lose your job. Like, just go. Or there are systems in place to make sure the water is running. I don't think any community in America will tolerate no water for more than a week. But in Ghana, we've had it. I mean, I was 5 years old fetching water from Kolebu, and today people are still fetching water. Why? Because we are tolerant of, it's a problem, it's okay, but we need people to get intolerant. That plus management systems.
We must get the laws of this land to work. Our laws are not allowed to work properly. Because if there's a law that if you do this, this is the punishment, and you've done it, you should take the punishment.
Right.
So if people can go in and plead on your behalf, and then you are left to walk free,
right,
then somewhere along the line, everybody is slack, and they're just looking for their personal interest.
So we need the president to morph into the Singaporean Prime Minister, Lee
Kuan Yew.
Yeah. I mean, I know he only had 4 million people, but he said he wanted to change things like spitting and peeing. If you're caught, you pay, period. Yeah. But in Ghana, the police people meeting like, Charlie,
so that's where these are the lapses in our system.
So we have to fix it.
We need to do it.
You get to the airport, and before you even put your bag down, Charlie, I'm thinking, so if I have something that you need to check me on, you're already collecting money for those are some of the
I was at Emory University, it's a private university in Georgia.
Yes.
Atlanta, to be precise. And I was told about ethics. There's an institution for ethics. And I pleaded with them that if we can work something out so we can train Ghanaians in that respect. Ethics. People's attitudes got to change. If we don't, we're going to be doing the same thing. You're talking about the policeman. It's a fact. When they did a study, they found out the most corrupt, they mentioned the police. Why should that be the case?
Yeah.
They've been mentioning, it's an embarrassment.
Right. That the people,
but the people are not changing.
Who are supposed to enforce, because this country is in a way, the law enforcement is what keeps, like, law enforcement, like, a police cannot stop you and then you offer them $10.
We have the laws, but they're not enforced.
Right, so we'll enforce
they're not enforced.
Right.
I tell you as a typical example, when I was in England, a policeman stops a racing Range Rover, and he stops the car because you're speeding towards the airport. I don't care whether you're going to the airport or not. He stopped the car. Then he walked to the car. Then there was a Scotland Yard officer in the car, and he was whispering to him that is Prince Andrew. He was taking Prince Andrew to the airport. He saluted him, but he's still booking you. You're still getting a ticket. You were speeding.
Wow.
What you do with the ticket is your business, but I've just issued my ticket and he's gone.
Yes.
And that is the kind of principle, ethics. Do what is right. He saluted him. He didn't disrespect him.
No,
he didn't say that Prince or what. He just said you were speeding. That is what I'm booking you for. I just booked you. So in Ghana, it comes another story.
But that's one thing I like about one of the universities in Ghana, founded by Mr. Patrick or Dr. Patrick Ewa. I should say they are very great.
They're bringing some of these.
Where they even do exams without. And Wesley Girls too. I'm not bragging. It's a school of very strong.
When they come out, some of them slack.
But for the most part, we say speak true, right, wrong.
Oh, but that's all talk. When they come into the system, they get corrupted. Human beings get corrupted because the system is such that.
Yeah.
No, but I've known you for years.
I'm saying we shouldn't brag too much about this.
Let's try and improve on. Yeah, maybe their ethics thing is not going deep into their blood. It should go into their blood. So when you come, you are principled. You used to have who was the principal?
Mrs. Achampong.
No, before Achampong, a white woman.
Was Miss Garnett. Yeah. There was Garnett.
She was hard. She was hard. I was in Augustus, but I knew about her.
She was sending those signals, she was tough. Yeah, because if you finished in 73, it must have been Miss Garnett.
Garnett, yeah, Garnett.
Right. So that discipline needs to come back into us. And I think if we could solve that discipline, a lot of things, because someone shared a story with me about this foreign company that came and established lots of boreholes, but it was connected to one computer. I think it was somewhere in the 70s. Then an official comes round, looks at the computer and says, you know, I need this for my son. So he takes the computer home and the whole borehole system, and nobody has the guts to tell him that, look, you can't do that. And that was the end of that was the end of it. So it goes into my next question. When you're done as your tenure of office, how do you want Americans to perceive Ghanaians? Because we've talked about this, you know, corruption issue, a little bit about our healthcare system. What do you want them? Of course, we beat US in soccer most of the time when they see them. So as for football and soccer, they know that they can't beat us. But what do you want them to remember about Ghana?
I think we're working towards, and everybody agrees that we should work towards minimizing corruption in our society. Because without that, all gains will be eroded. Because we're doing everything. Some of us are here pushing for others to invest. There's some people who are just also pushing to disinvest by frustrating the investor.
Here in the US.
Ghana, I'm talking okay, I'm asking we are in Ghana, actually. There are some people out there in Ghana who become obstacles, they frustrate.
In what way? Can you, like, is it difficulty getting registration of businesses or?
Well, if you frustrate somebody, I mean, it should be simple. We'll talk to them about how to get into Ghana. That's why I'm asking Ghanaians to partner them, the diasporans. You go to Ghana Investments Promotion Center, and then they take you through your registration, everything. They show you everything. Nobody there is trying to take your money. Then the actual thing.
The rubber hits the road.
That's right. And then I'm saying to them, so as long as I'm here, if you left America and went there, you should be able to, at least, if you wouldn't call me, you could get a diasporan to call me that we've gone to this ministry or this department, and these are the challenges we are facing. And if they are not real, they're not genuine, obstacles, then I want to be able to go in there either through a more senior person in the system to disengage. Yeah, to make it easier for the people to, not to give up. I don't want them to go there and give up. The person buys an air ticket, he goes into a hotel, and he's spending money. So you don't start getting in the way by extorting money.
I see what you're talking about. The people who intentionally say, go and come tomorrow. Simply, they're not telling you I need a bribe, but it's like if you oil their palms a little, your work will be a lot easier. Is that what you're talking about?
So they go with the diaspora who understands the culture and tell them you can't do that. We're trying to help our country.
Right.
You're a Ghanaian. You should be able to tell them, cut that out. Let us get this thing off the ground.
Right.
Create jobs and opportunities for our people so people can live better. Then you get paid more. Your children or your children's children will also get better lives because there will be jobs. Instead of you taking money from us today and frustrating the process.
So do you think we should start a trial system of 6 months? I don't know, it's going to make Ghanaians angry.
6 months.
But, a 6-month period of, look, if you just collect a bribe and you get caught, this is a repercussion. And there's no, I'm going to call my uncle, First, you give people a warning that, look, from maybe January 1 to July 31st, you are all on notice. If you're caught giving a bribe, these are the consequences. I mean, do you think something drastic?
Corruption is a criminal offense.
Oh, it is.
It is.
But it's not caught. There's no camera catching anybody.
Well, if it's proven that you did, let's assume the person gave it to you and then went and reported you. And there's a witness.
And then the judge will get bribed.
Well, don't rubbish. Some of the judges are good. Some people are good. Others are bad. And I want more people to be good than bad.
Right.
There are people who are good in our system. People who think about everybody, loving their neighbor as themselves, as I say, to make progress. See Ghana as beautiful as we are imagining it. Wow. As we come to America or go to the developed world and we see all the beautiful roads and the beautiful properties and people are living better lives, the shopping malls and everything. We wish we can have it in our country, so we don't even have to fly out.
Right. Right.
But there are bad nuts in our system. Their attitude
So
actually make it impossible for us to progress,
progress.
the way we want to progress.
So I also think that every ministry should put, I don't know if they need to do like you did an MBA where you do a flow diagram to show if customer gets here, how do we improve the experience till they're out. I almost think every ministry at some point should sit back and get maybe the top boss of that ministry, get sort of a flow diagram when a customer comes in and they want the, who are the people involved, how can we coach them, because if a system is working, it shouldn't take your phone call to somebody because an investor is facing difficulty. Like the system should be able to, like if you needed,
it should work.
Yes, if you need a mailbox or whatever service in America, you don't need to know the ambassador. You don't need to know a senator. You just know the system would work. And if it doesn't work, the person's immediate boss. Like I went to Kalibu, there's some place that is dirty. I'm like, I told the dean, why don't you fire? I said, where is their supervisor? Said, I can't. The supervisor is there, but I can't fire them because they work for the ministry. I said, so why don't you write to the ministry and tell them the person is not doing their job? He said, you can't. So there has to be systems in place that if something is not working, whether you work for the government or not, you either improve it or please, maybe you belong to go and work for the private sector or something.
The systems are in place. There are human beings managing those systems. So if somebody, for any reason, doesn't do his work, where it's expected that somebody else must crack the whip. And if that person is not cracking the whip, that's the beginning of the end of the whole system.
But the other comforting thing, Ambassador, is with all the changes, like the money coming in, 20 billion, etc., I think we have to have a way of letting Ghanaians know that in 4 years, not everything, like people don't understand how economics works. And within a year or two, when they are not seeing money in their pockets, they start saying, like, is there a way of letting people know that, look, even when things are changing, healthcare, education, it's going to take a few years before the bottom, because your passion has been the smallest person in the community feeling the effects of the gold and all the investments. How do we let people know that, look, give us time.
Do that.
It won't happen overnight.
We do that. All ministers have to face the media. That's the way we can spread the news. So there's that opportunity given to ministers or ministries. So you come for your question time, as they do in the UK. Prime Minister goes for question time. Here, the ministers go and face the media. They grill you on all these issues. And I think all ministers should use that platform, that opportunity, to reach out to the poorest in the system. Right. That this is what we are doing. This is how it's going to benefit you. And then by the next time you're coming around again, those questions might be asked again. And now you tell them where we've reached with that effort.
Okay.
To make life better for you.
Okay. So all of you listening, Ambassador Victor Smith says, the government is working hard. They're bringing investors and life is going to get better. I also think that one thing that needs to happen, though, every minister or anybody in leadership, we've got to project this idea of abundance. I think we're used to thinking lack, everything. We don't have this. You ask, we don't have money for this. So I think we should switch the African and Ghanaian mentality should be to switch to, I won't call it the Jeffrey Sachs mentality. He said abundance is coming, and we know it is there. Like in Ghana, you look in the gutter, there's a mango tree growing. In fact, I have a neighbor who has little mango trees growing.
Is that everything, abundance you're talking about?
Yes, abundance. Like that we have everything, the sun, rain, land. Like you drive, you're going to Kumasi or something. There's so much land. Like we are, I want us to start thinking we're in abundance. We just have to do the things that it takes to capitalize on the abundance. Because remember, before Kwame Nkrumah came and there was, colonialism ended, all these white merchants, they had large farms. They were becoming very, very rich. In fact, that's why they wanted to rule over us. Suddenly they leave and it seems like, okay, we're not managing, but they were there making a lot of money, doing sugarcane plantations, cocoa, rubber. we just let everything kind of, so we have to start thinking, nothing has changed.
So I'm telling you
We're
about
still
leadership.
the Gold
It's
Coast.
still leadership. Creating the enabling environment and enforcing the laws and managing resources properly.
That's right.
If we do all those things, everybody will make progress.
Right.
It's very important to provide good leadership.
Good leadership.
Okay? And managing the resources, money or natural resource or any resource, including the human resource. Okay?
He's here to represent Ghana in the US, and primarily his third thing, he said investments, city engagement, and then the Ghanaian community. But the community want to be able to get services faster. What are you going to do to change that, or that person, or get a closer relationship with the embassy?
Coincidentally, the president yesterday launched the e-visa.
Yeah.
That's a major thing for Ghanaians or diasporans. Sending their US passports to the embassy by post, and sometimes they get lost. These are some of the major issues here. Because then if you lose your passport, it takes you a while to get all that sorted out. It can frustrate you.
Okay.
So the launch of the e-visa, even though it's not for those who want 5-year visas, it's meant for those who are emergency visas, businessmen, go for short stay and back out. These are the ones we are targeting. And you can go online and apply, pay, and get a QR code. And the airlines have been told to take you to Ghana.
So is it effective right away? So today,
Well,
or there's an effective
in
date?
about 2 weeks, I'm told. But it was launched yesterday by the president, and I'm told that maybe within 2 weeks or so we'll start. Obviously, some of these things do have teething problems. You and I know, some of these projects.
Some of the trials.
Yeah, but I'm sure in the main it will work well for especially business people or investors going to Ghana.
Okay.
You can go online anywhere in the world and get a Ghana visa and fly from Singapore to Accra.
Oh wow.
Okay, the airline will carry you because the QR code says that they should do that.
Right. So you said you could be in Ghana and then
No, I'm saying that you could be in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say a businessman from America arrives from China in Singapore and he needs to go to Accra to do a deal.
Right.
He should be able to go online
and just
and then he's given the QR code and he's flying on the phone. That's my visa.
Okay. All right. Very good. That's exciting. So for those of
you, those frustrations about we don't get our passport, we call them, they don't mind. We're working on all that. So
that's how the responsiveness.
Yeah, we did have some issues sometime last year, early part of last year. And we had to shut down even for a couple of days. The embassy. That was before my time, but it was done for a good reason. And the bad nuts were taken out. Those who were frustrating the Ghanaians or our applicants, our customers, they were taken out of the system. So yes, we're back on a better keel, but at the same time, we do have some little challenges, sometimes postage, stuff like that. But I think in the main it's working out well.
Okay. So your predecessors had a diaspora liaison or like an office, because we have all these Ghanaian groups, Ghanaian doctors, lawyers.
Where, in Ghana?
No, here in the US. So that if we wanted to engage with you or with somebody in your office, they always gave a phone number. Okay, call this person. And those people were very responsive. Like maybe we need you to be somewhere, you can't come. We could call this person and we know that they'll come and give a talk for you. And we can say, oh, Ambassador Victor Smith could not make it, but this diaspora person is here. We want to know if you have somebody like that for us. And if you don't, I'm not answering you. If you don't, can you create one? Because we're used to that. We're spoiled.
Listen. We have a consular officer here, Bernard Quanson. He has a deputy and other officers. And if you want to invite me for any, let's use that example, you write formally. Because formally, I've got to know that there's an invitation to go somewhere. If I'm not able to go for any reason, I should be able to delegate somebody, one of my officers, to go and represent me.
Okay.
So we don't have a problem there.
So we don't. But can you ask Mr. Deputy, his deputy, just to call him a diaspora person. We want somebody.
Why do you want to call somebody a diaspora person? He's still an officer, he's a consular officer
All
who
right,
deals with
okay.
some of these things.
So,
I will
okay.
consider that. I will talk to my officers and see
And
whether
see, okay.
they want a name like that here.
Yes, if you have a
Mhm.
positive message for Ghanaians at home and here in the diaspora, this is your opportunity, especially if you have a very hopeful, exciting message for them about
Oh,
abundance and all the things you're going to.
well, they know why I'm here. They know I'm here representing the president and the country in a foreign land, in the free world, and the biggest economy in the world. My job here is to encourage foreign direct investments into Ghana to help us create jobs and opportunities so that our young people will not be leaving our country in droves, as has been happening. And those who have run into issues with ICE in America, we want to reduce those incidences of these migrations and give them something at home to do, something meaningful job-wise, to earn decent incomes, to be able to bring up their families, grow their families, and to live better lives, so they don't get excited about going out in search of greener pasture with all the dangers that come with it, trekking in the deserts or going through foreign lands and getting into trouble or what have you. I've seen a few of those things. I've been to a detention center. I've seen our people there. You wonder why they are wasting life, by doing those things. But it behoves on leadership to also create that opportunity for them to remain at home. So we are taking the responsibility as a government to work at creating that enabling environment for you to enjoy being in your country and taking advantage of the benefits that come with it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. As a matter of fact, I know an individual who was going to Germany, and I think his paperwork wasn't correct. They kept him in prison overnight and shipped him back. Now he's a millionaire, and he's so happy. He's in Ghana. Built so much real estate. He's so happy he got locked up and came back home. So anyway, thank you all for joining me today. This has been Ambassador Victor Smith. He told us about his life growing up in Ghana, education, and the excitement of his work here in the United States as ambassador. He has an open door policy. He really wants to engage investors and the diaspora. It's been a joy and a pleasure interviewing him today. So please join us again. But I want you to know Ghana is growing. There's abundance. So let's stop being negative. Let's try and curb corruption. And I think that we will all be the better for it. As Jeffrey Stark said, Africa is the next place for an economic boom. So on that note, thank you for joining us. And this has been Dr. Bertha.